Yeah, today I'd like to read from Volume 1 of my book, Annotations for the History of the Classical Guitar in Argentina, 1822 to 2000. It's 4 volumes, 21 pounds, $300. Buy it on my homepage by PayPal. Shipping included. I'm going to read from page 593 to 595. This is a Alfredo Quelu interview with Agustin Barrios. This was published on June 18, 1928 from the La Novella Semanal magazine, published in Buenos Aires. The image used to translate is from the book El Inalcanzable Agustin Barrios, pages 133 and 134. In this book, the source was described as a daily newspaper, though upon close inspection it is a magazine. A magician of the guitar. In the corridor of the hotel, the maid, right out of a French comedy from the end of the 19th century, asks us, "Quiet." Then we crossed on our tiptoes. "Mr. Barrios is studying," she adds, gathering to his importance the introducer of the importance of the maestro, which is in charge of his tranquility. Those two important things alarmed us. To bother an artist is to jump into emptiness. One can fall to his feet and sing. "Come in." Hotel room. One hand that tends and a brown face that smiles. In the other hand, a guitar that hangs as grim. Its silence is its frown, because they made it quiet down. Bohemian atmosphere, but a bohemian place that smells of expensive perfumes. You can see a tuxedo and a dinner at top-class tables. Bohemian of art. Here and there, suitcases which flirt with the prestige of an innumerable labels of customs houses and hotels of rank. Portraits, pieces of music, concert programs. In the center, in the same center of that sea of graphics, a sculptured profile of a woman, 2 pieces to stand it up on in a large black frame. Good gracious, does the adventure arise? On the strings of the guitar that never play in public, it is epilogued, its own definition. Near to the guitar rests a gourd, a fearsome heater, the last word in its genre, and therefore terror of us, those of the familiar brazier. Blow and blow with its breath of fire. Your beginning? Giving serenades under the bars of some little brown Paraguayan women. Many times those serenades ended abruptly. You understand, Othello hasn't died, and even a third of his cape, the austere commander of Ulloa. And the Mejias? To the guitarazos I gave recognition to them many times. Greetings, Don Juan. I had my Inez, with its mystic anxieties of salvation for my soul and its transport of hallucination. I was in Asunción, Paraguay. My father acted as the Argentine vice consul. I was a student, but between studying human bones, my father wanted to make me a doctor. In the arpeggios of the guitar, I preferred the latter. There is the greatest enchantment. Next, which with the first you help your fellow man to die badly, with the second instead to live well. Completely. You have been born to be a professor of theology. There is something to that, without a doubt. I convince others and easily convinced myself of all, which exalts the love to the guitar. But do you want an instrument more noble? When you play it as you do. You might be my substitute for theology, chronicler. So much honor, deserved. But forgive me. We have remained in the serenades and the little brown Paraguayan women, with an Othello, a commander. and the empty pocket. My father died, interrupting my studies, and the Paraguayan women swim in the bitterness. They swim, it's indubitable. Swim with that little brown Paraguayan women. I will change the herb, but not the theme, didn't you say? Desiring to get married, I suffered the unspeakable by that empty pocket. Did you know that? We're journalists. Then profoundly knowledgeable, my girlfriend wished in her sighs on her balcony, and me, I went to the serenades. One afternoon I told my mother, "Mother, I'm going to Corrientes. A jump, 2 days of performances, I'll earn some money, I'll return on Sunday. On Monday I'll visit the civil registry. On Tuesday we'll get married, and on Thursday get divorced." No, the program ended with the marriage, a total week of travels to form my baker's nest. And did you go? Yes, I went. It was a great success in Corrientes. They contracted me for other cities, and so, town by town, my spirit lived, the growing emotion of the pilgrimage of art. And you returned to Asuncion 14 years later. And then I traveled, studied, I kept traveling and continued studying. But if we're not misinformed, you are in your second reincarnation, right? Because you died surely one time. Man, I'll tell you. Yes, I went to one of my funerals. Do you know what a luxurious thing death is? No, tell me. Of a stupendous theater. You listen, I was in Sao Paulo, Brazil. One day I was walking down the street with my friend named Camargo when a so-and-so came near us, his face showing his circumstances, and he says to my friend, "Beloved Camargo, I'm sorry, I know you are a great friend of Barrios, the late." Atontitos, we kept listening to him. Great artist, quite a man, that Agustin P. Barrios, quite a man. But what are you saying? Camargo interrupted. That Barrios was dead, beloved, dead. It is lamentable. But Barrios is here, shouted Camargo. Man, don't digress. Has the announcement affected you greatly? Calm down. Enough of your nonsense. Don't you know this man who is accompanying me? Agustin P. Barrios. We're here. Right away, I'll clarify everything. In Rio de Janeiro, a certain orchestra musician by the surname Barrios has died. As well, Agustin. Coincidence. I came to perform there, and I heard my name, and of course a sheet music typesetter launched that funeral throng. Some weeks later, I read the dailies from Asuncion, the chronicles of my funerals. How many friends I had, what eulogies. Admirable. Barrios is one who enjoys the emotion, friendly or cruel, profound or superficial. All emotion has in its spirit a proportionate receptacle. By that, his works as a composer are on par, that are displays of a technique and emotionalized moments, which there's missing text due to the incansable graphics, positioning, artsy-smartsy type of stuff covered the full text. Which missing text, music staff, such as his Mazurka Appassionata, born in, more missing text, anguish, in Rio de Janeiro, missing text. Instinctively they raise, missing text, to the black frame, missing text, a sculptured profile of a woman. In the antique rosary of the waves that pass, Barrios prays, thus the fervent prayer of his great emotion. The life is for the old coffer of harmonies, by his to extract with the supreme refinement of the centuries the only note, subtle or profound, of the emotion whose variations are infinite, such as mankind's thirst for beauty. So ends the 1928 interview with Agustin P. Barrios.